The first challenge set was to use visual imagery in order to provoke a response. I thought about it and realised that the best way to do this would be to cover a topic that was controversial. I started by thinking about current issues and moral panics and things that I felt angered by. Things like rising fuel prices immediately came to mind, as these sort of issues seem to be everywhere and affect everyone. But I didn't think that was enough to really provoke any emotion. I started thinking about taboo issues because I thought that the stronger and more shocking the issue was, the stronger my image would be, therefore having more effect. Something that I hear about a lot in the news which angers me is when people commit crimes and get away without any consequences. So I decided to take a photo of a male in the foreground, smiling whilst walking out of a door. In the background there is a girl on the floor, which represents a murderer, happily walking away from the crime. For the next task, I produced a case study that I called Slim Fast, Unhealthy Quick. I was required to find an example of a form of media which I believed was being irresponsible in what it was promoting. Once again, I knew it would have to be something current. I decided to address the unhealthiness of Slim Fast's range of products. They give the brand a smiley, clean image, whilst the reality is that they are selling sugar-filled products to replace proper meals. People are effectively starving their bodies to get thin because they believe the Slim Fast promotions, which play on people's insecurities, in a society where looks seem to be everything. For the remix task, I started by looking at pieces of media that say things that I disagree with or that don't seem to be telling the truth. I immediately thought of the fast food chains. It seems that more or less everything to do with them is untrue or misleading, such as all their claims about their 100% beef burgers, which technically are 100% beef, but people don't realise that it's all the leftover bits of cow. I'm sure people would have also noticed how the pictures on the menus never look anything like the food. This is the same with the signs. The signs often have descriptions of the food, which in reality are untrue. So I decided to alter one of these signs to show what I believe to be the truer meaning. The next task required me to produce a documentary about a person making positive change. This made me think about Glenn Smith, who is the owner of Red Corner Boxing Gym, where I go to train. I was already aware that Glenn did a lot of work with the community, and after doing some research I realised that he had actually won the Contribution to the Community Award. Red Corner work with several organisations, such as All About Addicts, where they help people who have been addicted to drink, drugs and gambling by teaching them boxing to get them back into shape, pretty much replacing the old bad habits with good new ones. They also work with local schools by getting some of the children who have had problems with anger and violence to focus their attention on more positive outputs, such as the boxing. During the interview, I spoke to Glenn, who opened up and told me about himself when he was younger, and I also spoke to one of the teenagers who said boxing at the club had changed his life. For the creating impact task, I thought about someone my mother had told me about, who sells raw dog foods. He does this because dogs are not suited to eat processed food. I did some research on my own and was shocked at what I found. I found that wild dogs would live to the ages of about 20 to 25 years old before being domesticated. Nowadays they live till around the age of 10. Because of this, I thought this would be a good idea. I designed a logo on Photoshop which showed a dog, which was typically cute, eating from a dog bowl which had a poison sign on it. I used this logo as the logo of my petition, which I started to raise awareness of these issues. I had 12 people actually sign the petition, but I'm sure many more had seen it and would have therefore got the message I was trying to spread. The flash mob was the most unusual challenge and definitely the most entertaining. There was a large group of us doing the flash mob, so I tried to give as much input as possible, which wasn't often that easy due to the amount of people. I was part of the group that produced the social networking sites in order to create a background for the fake celebrities. I was also part of the planning, and like everyone, I was part of the flash mob itself. We got some really good reactions out of people who believed they were real celebrities, and overall I think our flash mob was a real success.